Hello everybody and welcome to another video. This week's video is going to be just kind of showing you guys some things. It's basically the 31st of December, so we're not quite at New Year's yet. I wanted to kind of take you guys along for more of a market prep week because I really don't have any customs on my book right now. Now that could change. I've had a few people contact me, but nothing's like set yet. So I'm really just market prepping and playing around with some things and kind of doing some stuff. But you know, I'm here with the zebra. Still got the Christmas stuff on, still feeling festive, you know. So I am gonna show you guys a fun little thing that I have been starting to work on. One of my goals for 2024, which is insane to think about. I literally cannot believe that this year's basically almost over with, crazy. But one of my goals with my crochet work is to actually start trying to create my own patterns, I guess you could say. Or maybe I should also say just like getting comfortable with freehanding things, because there's a lot of times I have people who will like contact me about customs and maybe there's not really a pattern for something that they want, and I just have not felt super comfortable like completely freehanding a pattern. Now I do a lot of patterns and I like change things because like maybe I want something a little different. I just haven't had that comfort and confidence to make a pattern. So one of my goals for 2024 was to just like make literally one pattern. It didn't have to be too complex, just freehanded, kind of get an idea. And so technically it's the 31st and it's not the new year yet. But last night I had a spark of like creation and I was like, I want to make a pattern. It's nowhere perfect. It's nowhere near being done, but I have mentioned before in other videos, I really wanted to make a small cow pattern that was a little bit more my style in the regards that I like wanted it to be kind of like cute and chunky, but not a lot of sewing. A lot of the cow patterns I have found that I like more, I guess you could say a mini version, have had a lot of sewing and just really haven't been my style, or haven't been like what I would consider like a market friendly style. Last ones I did for my previous market, it was a mini cow pattern, and it was mini, like even with like a Sweet Snuggles yarn, like the light and everything, it turned out so small, and the sewing aspect was just so tedious when it gets that kind of like smaller size. Because it was so small, it is harder to charge probably the money that it should be worth, because I mean, common sense, who's gonna spend a lot of money on a tiny little thing? So I have started to kind of create a pattern in my mind with kind of the body that I would prefer and the look, and just to see if I can make like a middle point cow, like small but not too small and not too big as opposed to my other cows. And I'm also trying to make it as no-sew as possible, but granted, you're gonna have to sew the horns, you're gonna have to do the nose. Like I guess you could crochet that on, but it's a pain to do that stuff. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of it, but it's so rough stages. But I just wanted to be like, hey, this was one of my goals for 2024. Hold me accountable, y'all, because I want to try and make a few patterns this year. I just don't know what animals to make, because I definitely want to do animals. Welcome to my desk. I have some coffee that I got from a place and it is wickedly strong, y'all. Wow. I'm not a bitter coffee person. This thing is probably gonna last me like 5 days, and I'm probably gonna have to come and like add a whopping of creamer at some point, because that's a feeling. Back here in my little tubby, I also am working on another unicorn very slowly. And I don't know if I ever showed you guys, but this unicorn actually has eyes that I painted myself. I was so happy, and it was like my first real attempt, I guess you could say. I haven't had the time to paint any other eyes, but it's definitely my intention to paint a few more and just kind of figure out what style I want to go for. I definitely want to do more of designs too. I feel like there's a lot of people who do the eyes and everything for crochet and stuff, but I would prefer to like hand paint things as well, where maybe like if I wanted to make a like a sunflower cow or something, but like truly make that part of it also kind of sunflower theme, so maybe I'll hand paint some flowers and then add the glitter background. Like, still figuring out that stuff. This one does have my first attempt at painting eyes. I'm gonna see if the camera picks it up. The lighting's not very good. So let's see, guys. So here's this one. So it's got pink and purple and then a nice little shimmer. And then this is this one. It's hard because it's dark in my house because the sun is coming up. But in the light, it's super pretty. And I'm pleased considering they're my first time painting them. I just like have some other ideas. Now, moving on to the beginning of the cow. So this is where I stopped last night. This is what we got going on. I kind of prefer like chunky, fat things. Like I like them like chunky. And so the legs are pretty chunky, but I feel like it's good in the regards that you got like a lot of squish going on. I think a lot of times when people buy things, especially if they're like kids, like the first thing they do is like grab it and like squish it. And I feel like the size of this body is a good squish body because the other ones I've made have been just like so small that it's like, you're killing it with one hand. So I think this is so far a pretty good size. So I think my plan is to just keep going up and then I'm gonna play around with, I got last night when my cat woke me up at like 2 a.m. screaming her head off like she normally does every single night because she's got some issues. I had an epiphany. It was either like my sleep paralysis demon telling me or it was my sleep deprivation, but I was like, man, I want to try and do this thing. Can't say it's gonna go well. So my plan is this morning is I'm gonna play around with the ears a little bit and I think I can get this thing done this morning before I have to go to work and ride. Then I think later today I'm just gonna play around with the pattern a little bit more, tweak some things, make more of like a normal version, and if I end up releasing this pattern or doing anything with this pattern, then I would include like multiple different versions with it. Like maybe if you wanted to have like lots of spots on the front and back, I'll write up a pattern that has like a lot of spots and all that type stuff. But I'm just playing around with it. It's my first time writing pattern. I'm not really trying to put much pressure on myself. I just kind of want to make something cute, and really at the end of the day it's for me. Like it's for my market because I feel a lot more comfortable charging what I wanted to charge for a mini cow off of a pattern this size opposed to the other patterns I've used. I might change some things with like the color change here just to give it a little bit more, I guess you could say, indentation opposed to being so fat and fluffy, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna get through this one first, see what it looks like when it's actually done, and then kind of go from there. But colors I ended up choosing were this yellow and green. I was kind of thinking like Sprite themed, but when I tell you yesterday, I was like absolutely so tired, and when I was writing this, my handwriting on my page looks like a whole bunch of like random nonsense. A Sprite themed cow, I don't even. All right, everybody, it's your favorite time, voiceover Carrie. It was really my intention for this video to kind of highlight me making up my new yarn room, talking about like my market make, some of that type of stuff. But as you see this video go on, it is definitely about the cows and the pattern I made. I guess I was just like so excited, so I have to apologize a little bit because I came in with really high expectations and I think all I did was talk about cows. So just bear with me a little bit. You know, it's definitely a cow themed episode and my pattern, but I hope you guys are also enjoying the better quality with the videos. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else because I'm trying to make sure that I get some crocheting and some other fun stuff for y'all to see. All right, everybody, it is the 31st still, and I wanted to come on here because I have officially completed my first trial or first plushie from a pattern that I wrote. I don't think it's horrible, but there's definitely some things that I want to change. So I've got my little piece of paper. I'm starting to like write it out a little bit better on the next page because when I was writing this, it's just like all over the place. Thank goodness I can understand what I wrote. But I think y'all should appreciate my little book. So it says, oh my gosh, don't rush. It's okay to be slow. And look at the little cat. I actually really like it. It's on a spiral and the pages are pretty big. And I think it was only like $2. So this is my new workbook. but I'm gonna show you guys the mini cow. Just don't laugh because like there's some things I'm changing up. I'm actually working on another cow and I altered some things and I'm gonna change some of the placement. I was just proud of myself for like trying to figure this out and I learned some things. We'll say that. So this is the little cow. My next one, I'm gonna make it with a different snout. I went a little small for my preference in terms of the snout, so I want it to be a little bigger, a little wider. It's a little small, but I really didn't know what to expect and I've never like freehanded a snout. I also just like wanted to get it on and like see, because like sometimes as I was crocheting, and this just happens to me in general whenever I'm working, I will like, you know, crochet something, but sometimes I like have to get to the end to actually know what it looks like, because sometimes some projects are like really like a trust me process, and for a lot of things that involve sewing and you have a lot of pieces, I think like it's really hard to get like a good feel for the whole thing until it's like done. So that's kind of my mindset that I went in with this. The ears are actually crocheted on opposed to sewing, and there's just a few things like this ear I did a little differently than this ear, and I think it's noticeable to me, so I'm gonna change it to be like this ear opposed to this one. Basically the only thing I had to sew was the snout and the horn. I'm gonna work on the second one, which is gonna be a black and white cow, and the first one I'm just gonna do normal and figure out the changes that I want to make in the pattern, and then the second one that I make after that I will take the time and figure out about, you know, crocheting color changes and spots, all that type of stuff. But I wanted to just come on here and show you guys. Hello everybody, it is January 1st, so happy new year. I hope you guys had a great time if you celebrated last night or whatever. I did not celebrate New Year's at all, just because nothing about going to parties or going out of my house sounds exciting to me. And usually, since having animals, New Year's Eve and New Year's is not a very fun time. I wanted to share the cow that I made last night because I showed you guys the first cow I made, and I am super happy with the improvements that I made to the pattern and just kind of figuring out things a little bit more, and I'm so happy because it's so stinking cute, y'all. So here is the little, oh my gosh, look at it. It is so stinking cute. So this is just another rewrite through the pattern. I wanted to change a few things but then still keep a few things, and I definitely think I was able to get it to be a little bit better proportion than the first one as well. It's just like a little cuter, like it's so stinking cute. And with this pattern I definitely did what I wanted to do and what I wanted in a mini cow pattern. I have bought so many mini cow patterns and none of them have been like what I really wanted and what I was looking for. So this is basically everything that I want, so I don't even have to worry about buying any more mini cow patterns because I've already got it. It's right here, and I know that these will sell because I've already had people contact me about them. I have only made really this one, so I'm so excited. I want to show you guys. Got some little pink in the ears, got the two little horns, and the nice thing about this is it's almost no sew, it's a low sew. So I figured out how to get the ears to be crocheted in, so you don't have to sew the ears. The only thing that you actually sew are the horns and then the little nose, but everything else is just crocheted on. And that was one of my things I wanted to get, especially with markets and everything. The more time you can save, the better. So I was able to achieve that, and I think this is also a really good size in terms of a small plushie, and that was kind of my goal. Was, you know, not everybody wants to spend the price that I charge for my cows, which is $50, which is completely understandable. And a lot of people seem to really like these minier or smaller size cows. So I wanted to find a good in-between size for them because I have, like I said, have done multiple mini cow patterns from other creators that just haven't been the style that I'm really looking for, or maybe it has like a lot of sewing or more sewing than I really would want to do, or maybe I just don't like the look of it, or the size can be a really big factor. You have to be really careful with market makes in particular opposed to like customs, with just making certain that the size of the plushie is also gonna make sense to somebody spending the money. Other mini cows I had were considerably smaller. The ones that I brought to my last market, they were probably like this big. They just didn't look good to me, but people liked them. But there was a lot of sewing and it was a lot of trouble for something that small. And because they were so small, I couldn't really charge as much as I should have given the amount of sewing and just like all that type stuff. So I wanted to get something bigger than that, but not cow size. And I think I definitely achieved that with this cutie. I'm so proud since this is the first pattern that I've ever like written myself. And if you watched the clip previously with my green and yellow one, I don't think it's very hard to see the improvement. I definitely changed some things and I think that it came out great. Alrighty guys, so I had mentioned a little bit ago that I was going to be getting a room dedicated for the crochet, yarn, everything, anything business that I am constantly growing, and it's here. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm starting to do, and this is just the beginning stages. So this room actually belonged to my brother and he moved out, and so when that happened I basically was like, can I have it? Like I can use it for everything with crocheting and all this type stuff, and I have so much yarn and things are just like taking over every inch of my house. And so luckily I was able to kind of convince my parents that I can use this room. So very slowly it's going to transform, but used to be my brother's. It is a bedroom. So this is what I have set up right now. Those are my black dresses. I don't keep them in my room because of my cat. So they're staying in the yarn room. I don't want them getting hairy. My cats love getting themselves in dresses and I only wear black, so it also shows my cat hair so much. This is kind of what I'm thinking of doing. I'm gonna move the old jewelry stuff I have there. I'm gonna move it somewhere else. This is gonna be filled with yarn, but I'm only gonna keep yarn that's like, I'm gonna probably keep like, maybe if I use a color a lot, like purple, blue, yellow, I use those colors a lot, and white. I'm gonna keep them out, but then everything else I'm gonna do 3 of. And since I buy a lot of my yarn on bulk, a lot of them come in these plastic bags. So I'm not gonna have room to put all of my yarn in this. So I think I'm going to leave them on plastic bags and either put them like below on the ground because I'm not worried about them getting dirty because they're in plastic, or I'm gonna put them in this tub and everything. And probably in the main area, wherever I decide to put a table and whatnot, I'll also have like a cube that has like 1 skein of yarn. So that way it's easy to grab, but I want to store my yarn away, keep it more like in a place where it's not going to get as dirty. There's no cat. So this is kind of what I have right now. I'm still pulling yarn out. I probably have, I don't even want to tell you how much yarn I have. Like, but this is what it's looking like right now before I have to go and take care of my horses and ride and all that fun stuff. It was literal chaos for a while. When I tell you this yarn room was about to give me a heart attack, oh my gosh. It looks better here, but when I first started, horrible. I have been putting off trying to unwind so much yarn because I absolutely hate it, and so I had to unwind 2 separate boxes that have been living in my bedroom. I kind of consider myself someone who has pretty like equal emotions. Like I'm just kind of here. I don't really get upset too often. But this yarn was driving me crazy. It was like acrylic wrapped around plush yarn, and then I had like plush that was tangled with plush. Oh my gosh. I could have lost my mind. And I think I did. I lost a piece of me. Alrighty guys, it is basically 8 o'clock. I want to show you guys what I have been able to accomplish. There is still so much that needs to be done, and I need to buy quite a few things. I would say like more storage, some place to sit, like those small things first. I'm not really worried about like going too crazy. Crazy stuff can happen later on, but I want to show you guys where I'm at, and it's a mess. So apologize for that. So this is the floor situation. Kind of like figuring out things that I just need to like throw away and not save the yarn. This yarn I have not ever used since I started crocheting, so I kind of just need to get rid of it. Clearing out this bin. This is extra like scrap yarn, so some of these are literally like, this is enough to like do a blush on something. So I have scrap pieces in here. Some of this other random yarn is like, I only have one of that color, like one of that green. So I didn't really want to put it on the shelf because like I only have one, and I'm gonna get little cubes to put somewhere that I'm gonna keep like open things on, opposed to going and grabbing from my shelf. This is what in here is looking like so far. My dresses may be leaving, but right now they're still here. So I put a lot of my bagged yarn over here and stuff because since it is bagged, I'm not as worried about it getting dusty or anything or feel like the need to use it. I didn't realize I had this until I started doing things, so that's just sitting there right now. These two bins contain more Sweet Snuggles yarn, Chanel Home Slim, that I didn't put on my shelf, so these are just like extra colors. They're in a container because, I mean, I don't want to getting gross. This is also more bagged yarn as well besides that because I only have one of that color and I'm waiting for the cube, so just chilling. And then this is kind of what I've got going on right now. I'm not really like a person who gets like really weird by colors and stuff, so to me it looks fine. I've got some blacks, some creams, just some like grays, browns, weird kind of colors. Like I only had like one of one gray, one of two, I mean, you know, things like that. This is a stress ball. White, cream, mustard, hot pink, pink, dark purple, lavender, peach, I guess, I don't know, blue, light blue, yellow, one of the greens, a lighter green, a dark blue and another dark blue, and then teal. This is where the chaos kind of begins. This is kind of like my premiere side. Himalaya dolphin and just like some other things. Like I have the open Burnett blanket over there and stuff, and like I can't remember, this must be like yarn bee or something. So this is like the chaos side. And I'm hoping, same thing, like once I get the yarn cubes, I might change this and like better organize it. I really don't use Premier Parfait or any of these colors like on a normal basis. It's fine right here for right now. We walk over the mess. I've got some of my boxes with like plushies already made, more boxes for storage. This is Burnett blanket that I just need to like, I don't know, it needs to leave my life forever. So it's in boxes right now. So hopefully soon it will be gone. I ended up having this curio cabinet that belonged to my brother and it's not leaving, so I was like, you know what, we should use it. So my acrylic yarn is staying in here for the time being. This is where the acrylic yarn is living. Plush yarn over there. End of day one. Tomorrow or Saturday, I don't know what day, it's gonna be like a shopping day, get some things, just kind of figure out all that type of stuff. Been a couple days, I think. I can't remember the last time I recorded. It is the 6th of January, and let me just tell you guys, this week has gone not at all as I planned. It has been so stressful. I have barely crocheted. Nothing I wanted to get done has gotten done. It's been some stress. But I want to show you quickly how kind of the room has changed. It's a little bit more situated. I still need to go get certain things because like I bought this like little cubby that didn't end up working, so I'm gonna go return it tomorrow and then add things to try and like personalize the space. But I'll give you guys an update because it has changed a little bit. This area is still pretty much the same. I've now just filled up with more boxes, and this is also the same empty boxes and everything. So it's just, this is just kind of like the storage room, right? Coming out here, I've got some sewing stuff because I do want to attempt to sew this year, and so this little corner in the end will turn into my sewing station. I just don't have my sewing machine out and still trying to figure out everything else in the room. So this will be kind of the sewing area. Right now, it just has some random stuff. That's the same. Move the boxes. The thing I got over there was supposed to be a corner cube, but it didn't work, so I'm just gonna get like the normal little cubby things to put probably there. And then this is kind of what I have set up right now as a table to work. It's definitely nice to have like a big table and everything and have so much space, but of course, just as time goes, things will change. I'll grow into it. I'll make it a little bit more me, but right now it's a serviceable functioning area and I'm able to do things that I need to do. Having like a dedicated space means all my plushies are gonna be in one area, which is gonna make recording really easy, and it's gonna make it easy for me to do like what I crocheted in the week videos as well, because before it was just so difficult having everything so spread out, no dedicated room. Filming was difficult just because there's always so much going on. So having this will just make life a little easier. I just kind of have to like grow into things, figure out what I like, what I don't like, and hopefully this week will settle down a little bit. Life will be a little easier, less stressful, I guess you could say. Tonight, I'm really trying to finish up the last cowl that I need to get done, or that I personally want to get done before I create this pattern and everything. I was really hoping to get the pattern done today. You know, everything's written up, but like the typing, the taking some extra pictures, video, like all that type of stuff just takes more time. and I was really hoping to get it done today, but today ended up being a day kind of dedicated more towards my other job. There was a problem with the horse. Before I knew it, it was just like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm gonna get the cow done, and then hopefully the next couple days can be like really focused on the pattern, do all that fun stuff. But I wanted to show you guys all the cows I have so far because I'm uncertain if I've shown them all, but I'll just give you a really brief overview. So this is of course the cow that I first started out with. I'm still gonna finish this one. I'm gonna make it lemon and lime theme. I don't think it's bad by any means, but I definitely changed some things and changed the look and all this type stuff, but this was the first one I made, and I definitely would reconsider making this, just maybe change it to how I have it now. The second one was of course just the standard black and white cow, nothing too crazy. I didn't want to crochet any cute little things because sometimes people just want a black and white cow. Third thing I crocheted in this pattern, I made this cow right here. It's got some spots and everything. She has 2 purple flowers. I didn't want to do the typical lavender that you see with these cows, and I actually do think the flowers turned out much cuter. If I do end up making one more cow before the pattern release, I'm going to make a cow with the color changing spots so I can write that down, possibly a flower crown. I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. She's got 1 flower there, and then the other purple flower is right there. Spots, and then of course, I think I've mentioned this before, I kind of was just color changing how I felt like I wanted to do it. I color changed right here and made a spot, so it kind of looks like the nose is kind of a little longer, but it's not. That's just where I color changed and made a spot. But this was the third cow that I made. This is one of the reasons I like the pattern. I think I've said this so many times, is that it works up so fast. I think per cow maybe takes me like an hour and a half. It takes me much longer to do a big cow, so I can get 2 to 3 of these done when I end time like I do like a big cow. So I'm in love with it. If I had so much more time, just with like everything that's gone on this week, I probably would have like 10 or 15 cows. So this is just like the sneak peek. When I have more time, I'm gonna make so many more. This is the heart cow that I made. This is kind of like a Valentine's theme one. It's got 2 hearts on it. I would really like to make another one of these in pastel colors and make it sweetheart themed and hand embroider like I love you on it, XOXO, that type of cute stuff I think could be really fun. So I have this one. This is the 4th one I've made. And then the current one that I'm working on, which I'm hoping to get done tonight, will be the like special one for this pattern, I guess you could say, that has like a little extra accessories, is going to be this cloud cow. Now this is not done. I'm gonna make quite a few more clouds to sew on its body, both front and back, but it has this little sun hat. I did the stitching and whatnot so it would have more points opposed to like some hats you see will have waves. I wanted the little points to be like the sun. This is what I'm currently working on, and this is the one that I'm hoping to get finished up tonight. Instead of like the pink ears, it's got white ears. When I started crocheting this cow, I just like knew what colors I wanted to do, but I didn't like really know the theme. I put an Instagram poll on my story, or like a little post, and I was like, I don't really know what theme to make. It's like I have these colors that I like I'm a blue person. I love blue, cool colors, and black. I wear a lot of black in my normal day life. So I had made a post, and Kelly.Crochet, she recommended to me that I do blueberry or sky, and I feel like there's a lot of blueberry cows out there, and I don't really see anything like sky themed, and so I was like, oh my gosh, that'd be so cool, because I was originally thinking beach themed, and I still might make a beach cow later on with some pineapples and some waves and whatnot, but the sky theme like really stuck out to me, so I have to give credit to her for giving me the idea, because I think it's gonna turn out so cute, and I love the little sun hat. She's looking very cute, she's looking very professional. She just needs a few more clouds to really complete the look and make you really think you're in the sky. That's my plan. Hopefully finish up this cow tonight. If not, finish it up tomorrow. Oh my gosh, look at me with cows. My little cows. This kind of video actually kind of makes it look so like poetic. Like, do I look like I am giving off some like strange mysterious vibes? I don't know. Maybe it's the quality, maybe it's the Starbucks cup in the background kind of getting the spotlight. But it's giving something that my videos don't usually. But I am just working on creating the arms of the cow that you guys will end up seeing later on in the video, which was the last cow that I made for my pattern. All right, everybody, so it is the 8th, and I can officially say that I have my first ever tester call done, which is crazy to think.
I was like really pushing to try and get it out over the weekend, and the weekend just did not happen. I kept trying, and I was like, I want to get one more cow done before I do the testing call and everything, and it just didn't happen. Like I said, this past week has really been crazy, and this week, I'm hoping it's not as crazy, but the weather has been absolutely crazy here. So it's like I'm having to do a lot of stuff with my other business with the horses. So this is getting pushed a little bit to the side. Without further ado, I wanted to show you guys all of the cows I made. And if you are interested, make certain to check out my Instagram, because hopefully when this video goes up, the testing call will still be open. So feel free to apply and everything. I'd love to have people who watch my YouTube videos, some of the testing and whatnot. I'm just really excited to have completed my first ever pattern, and I have a lot of plans going forward in the future. I think it'd be really fun to do like a pattern a month maybe, but at the same time I'm also being super realistic, just given the fact that I literally have never really done many patterns, but I enjoyed doing it. It was good to like challenge my brain and just get some creative ideas that I had out, and I definitely have a lot more ideas. It is just figuring out how to articulate them onto or into a plushy form. So without further ado, I will show you guys the cows that are done, and they're not going to be in any particular order. So I have my absolutely adorable little lavender cow. The pattern will include how to do her. So this is one of them. This was not the first one I did. I have just this solid color cow, which he was one of the first ones I did, but just a nice solid color, because you know some people don't want to do anything too crazy. They just want a cute little cow, which is totally fine because I get asked all the time about normal cows like this. I just personally never make big cows that are normal looking because they just feel like so bland given their size and everything. So I'm really excited because I'm gonna make some normal cows in this. They do get asked a lot about it at markets and whatnot. Then I have my Valentine's cow. This will be included in the pattern release and everything if you want to make a Valentine's cow, and of course you can add like more hearts, different colored hearts, whatnot. I probably will be making another Valentine's themed cow like I've said earlier, but just not before this release, because essentially everything's going to be the same to make it. I'm just going to be changing colors and embroidering and doing a little bit more technical stuff. Moving on to the fun themed cow, I have my sky cow. We've got a little sun hat and everything, and then some clouds here. My little sky cow. And then the last cow that I just finished up today, because like I said, I really wanted to make like one more cow, is this little cow right here. It will include how to do these two little spots. I wanted to make certain when I did this cow that I did not run into a similar issue that I did in the lavender one. When I did the lavender one, I did the color change right up by the eye, so it looks like it's an accentuation of the nose, and you really can't see it. So for this one, I wanted to do it on the side right here, not have to worry about it getting in the way of the nose and the eye like this one, and then it has this, and then a little flower crown. So this was my last cow that I made today. I absolutely adore it, and I love the color combination. I think it turned out so cute. I want to keep it, but I know that probably won't happen. But yeah, this is basically, besides my original cow that's over there, these are the 5 kind of little cows that I made for my tests, and I'm super excited because just in general, I'm gonna make so many more cows. I'll still make big cows, but honestly, I think moving forward in my markets, I'm gonna really focus on this size because I've already sold a few of the ones that I have here, and I didn't even really post them anywhere. I just like got contacted by people who wanted the large cow, and they all came back saying that they didn't want a large cow, they wanted a mini cow. I foresee lots of cows in my future, and I'm so happy that I figured out the pattern how I wanted it, because everything that I needed, and I'm so happy to be able to fulfill that need myself. It's a different type of feeling. So I just wanted to come on here, say that, and probably wrap up this video pretty sweet. Next week, we're gonna be working on continuing to finish up this yarn room, and I'm starting a few custom orders again, so we'll see that, and all my market prepping. I wanna go through all of the 30 or 40 little items I made this week. I'm starting to make this week. I think I've already made like 10 little things. I will see you guys in the next video. Keep an eye out for the pattern. It will officially be releasing next week, next Monday, which will be the 15th. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!